Hey everybody, today we're talking about the top 10 reasons that we are moving to Orlando.
Hey everyone, welcome back. Dan and Leslie here. Together with our two kids, we are a travel-loving family, a little bit Disney-obsessed if you've been around the channel. If you haven't, if this is your first time here, go ahead and hit that subscribe button. Maybe click the thumbs up, helps us out. We are engaging on a new journey, as we mentioned last week. So today we are diving into the top 10 reasons of why we are relocating our family from where we have been for the last, well, pretty much forever.
Yeah.
From Oklahoma to Florida, and what that journey is going to entail.
Yes, so let's just go ahead and count them down.
Dive right in.
All right, so number 10, if you have done any kind of research on moving to Florida, then you probably have heard this one said time and time again. And this is why it's our number 10, and it is no state income tax.
Yeah, so this is not a huge deal. So we are ranking these in order of importance. We would probably come down anyway, but this is definitely kind of like icing on the cake. We do pay state income tax here in Oklahoma, so it is nice to not have to worry about that going down to Florida. I will say that they do get their money in other ways. So the property taxes are higher, and they do have other fees, like a lot of toll roads, tons of toll roads down there. So they are making money off of tourists, but that's okay.
Yeah, and so if this was the only reason, then we wouldn't make the move, but we have 9 more.
That's right.
All right, so number 9 for us is opportunity for our kids.
So this is like huge, and again, it's probably not enough to get us down there in and of itself, but there is a ton for the kids to do. So as soon as we move down there, there will be a new high school, like brand new high school that Aiden will go to. That is really cool. The college options down there are amazing. There are a ton of really good schools in Florida, not as many here in Oklahoma. And then just being around so much there that we will get to here in the upcoming numbers, I guess.
Yeah. Well, and both of our kids have expressed an interest in possibly working for Disney or Universal someday. They both are very technologically minded, where they have thought about engineering or that kind of thing. So there's definitely a lot of potential and opportunity for jobs as well in the area.
Yeah.
All right, so number 8 for us is cultural diversity. So when we first started out on this journey, our plan was to travel the world for a full year and have a little family gap here. One of the reasons for that was so that we could introduce our kids to all of the different cultures around the world. We're definitely gonna still travel the world, even with our home base in Florida, but Florida in and of itself is so much more culturally diverse than the Midwestern area ever could hope to be.
Yeah, for sure. So we were going to start traveling the world this summer. Of course, with COVID, that did not happen. We had a Western European trip scheduled. So unfortunately, we didn't get to do that. So again, we want to introduce our kids to different cultures. And this is one way that we feel like we can do that while still having a home base here.
All right, so number 7 is kind of the ancillary entertainment. So you want to take that one?
Sure. There are so many things to do in and around Orlando and just in the greater Florida area that we don't get a chance to do when we go down there on vacation. So we're in Florida probably 3 times a year on average, and we're usually just visiting theme parks. But all of the other little things from the Space Center, watching shuttles launch, to some of the other things that we're going to talk about, but the springs, the state parks, just a million different things that you can do. We saw an elephant sanctuary, just a ton of different things that we want to be able to explore and not feel like we're taken away from our vacations when we're down there for, basically 2.5, 3 weeks a year. We just don't have the time to explore those things. And they're just well, we'll explore them here on the channel.
So number 6 for us is the beaches. So this one, we're not huge beach people. Going to the beach for a full week and just lying around on it has not ever really been our thing. Even when we went to Aulani in Hawaii this last spring, we did a lot of hiking and activities and snorkeling, and we didn't just lay on the beach a ton.
Yeah, that being said, both kids really, really love the beach, and it's just hard to spend like a week's worth of vacation when you only get 3 or 4 a year just staying at the beach when there's so many more things to explore and do. That being said, if we live an hour to an hour and a half away from 2 different coasts with I don't know how many miles of beach and shoreline around the state, we will definitely take advantage. It's just another one of those ancillary things that we want to be able to explore, and we don't have time to do it while we're there on vacation.
Yeah, absolutely. All right, so our number 5 reason is the food.
The food. Holy cow. So there are so many great food items in Orlando. Part of that cultural diversity is just a melting pot for different flavors of food and different cuisines, different nationalities. It is amazing just getting on Yelp and exploring the different it's a rabbit hole that I go down quite frequently, and I'm really looking forward. So when we go down there now and we're exploring just theme parks, we feel like there's a ton of really good food options just in Disney and Universal and the places that we go. But going outside of that, so I've been to Orlando on work trips before and did not go to the theme parks, and just exploring the food items outside of those.
There's a ton.
So good. Looking forward to that a ton.
Yes. All right, so now we're really getting into the nitty gritty here, and these top 4 reasons are what has made us really truly decide to take the plunge. The other 6, if you would agree, are probably that's icing on the cake. They're just extra things. Then them in and of itself would not have forced us to make this move, but these top 4 reasons are definitely why.
Yeah, and so outside of these 4 reasons, if those other reasons didn't exist, we would still go.
Yes, we would. So the number 4 reason is access to travel.
So this is huge for us because, again, we are a travel-loving family. We have done videos on financial independence to travel. We want to be location independent so we can travel more. And it's very important for us to be able to do that more often, especially if we're not doing like a family gap year where it's just 1 year set aside to go travel and then come back. If we're trying to go for shorter stints, but a little more frequently, we want to be able to travel. And it's really hard to do that from Oklahoma. There's not any major airports. There's no shorelines here, but to try to get to a coast to do a cruise or something like that, it's at least 10, 12 hours down to like Galveston. I forget, it's at least 10 hours down there. So just having the cruise ports available in Florida, having an international airport right there where we're going to live is really key, where we don't necessarily have to take 2 and 3 legs to get to somewhere in the continental United States or even somewhere overseas. We can just fly right out of MCO. Yeah,
absolutely. All right, so the number 3 reason, and this is probably one you've heard before, is the weather.
The weather is so nice. Now, granted, there is a little bit of heat in the summer. I don't know if you're aware.
A little bit.
So, but really the sunshine, I didn't realize until COVID hit, and we were outside a whole lot more this past 10 months just trying to be able to do stuff and be safe while doing it. So we've done a lot of different like walks and hiking and that kind of thing, and it really makes a huge difference being in sunshine, and Florida has the most sunshine, way more than Oklahoma does.
All right, so our number 2 reason is kind of obvious. It's the theme parks.
I mean, how could it not be?
Now, granted, our careers, our jobs with the travel agency and the podcast, that kind of centers around the theme parks. We absolutely love both Disney and Universal, and then having that resource for information is just going to be absolutely huge.
Yeah, speaking of, if you didn't know, if you're new to the channel, we do have a Disney and Universal Focus podcast. It is called Addicted to the Mouse. We publish those episodes twice weekly on Sundays and Wednesdays, so check that out if you are into podcasts. And then we have a travel agency. It's called Fantastical Vacations, and we specialize in Disney, Universal, cruise lines, and some all-inclusive resorts. So we're looking very, very forward to when all of that can come back and we can start cruising again.
All right, so here we go. The number one reason that we are moving to Orlando is that it just feels like home.
And that might sound a little strange if you don't feel like that whenever you go somewhere that isn't your home. But whenever we drive over that state line or get off the plane at MCO or SFB, it just feels like home. And I know you could probably say, well, it's because you're on vacation, but it's really not. I don't think I've ever felt anything like that going to New York City or Las Vegas or Hawaii or California, anything like that. It's only when we go into the state, and it's what keeps bringing us back time and time again. I mean, yes, the theme parks are good, but really just being in Florida, there's something peaceful and relaxing, and it just feels right.
Yeah, I can't really even explain it. But it's like we both take a collective sigh whenever we get there. And I think one of us says, okay, we're home.
Yeah, for sure.
So there you have it. Those are our top 10 reasons why we are moving to Florida, specifically Orlando. So if you've thought about taking that plunge, then leave a comment down below and let us know what's making you come to the state.
Absolutely. There's got to be, for whatever reason, I don't know why, but some people out there maybe don't have as big of a crush on Disney and Universal as we do. So what would bring you to Florida if you've thought about it? Also, we will be doing a video soon about the cons of moving to Florida, what we're not looking forward to so much. So stay tuned for that.
Yeah, so make sure you hit that bell notification and subscribe to the channel so that you don't miss it.
All right, so we will post these videos once a week. Anything else to add?
I don't think so. Until next time.
Talk to you soon.